tell us a bit about your journey so far.
So I've been here at Combat for about 2 years now, kickboxing, but I've been fighting for around 11 years, initially doing martial arts more so it was more like points fighting, on the mats, kind of like a game of TIG, back and forth, and it was getting to the point where I was just getting disqualified all the time. Like, you're too like, using too much force. So I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. And my coach she was very pushy as well. She was like, go to other gyms, like, I don't want to hold you back at this club, go. So I've started here, straight into full contact from points. And yeah, I feel like I've just grew so much.
Just want to hurt people.
Yeah, I want to get stuck in and have an actual fight rather than playing a bit of game of TIG. And then, so through the 2 years, my first fight was at the World Championships in Cardiff, straight in. I thought, you know what, might as well, that's what I've wanted to do. We'll just do it. And then I've won the ICO British bout against Ireland, an Irish girl, 5 Nations, defended that. And then I've got a European lined up in September. So hopefully we can get that win and then straight onto a world title from there.
Yeah, amazing. Has your journey been similar to Paul's, where it's just like been sparking people out left, right and centre, or is it...
not so much.
How have the fights been?
I feel like it's quite different, girls. I feel like you don't really see it as much. People, like, you sparking people out. I feel like it's more so like stoppages. My first fight on a show, I stopped her in the first minute, I think it was. So I was chuffed with that. I would love to get a knockout. I think we could eventually, but my back kicks are what's stopping everyone. I think I've had about 4 stoppages with different kicks recently. So I know
that's one to watch then.
Strong at them. So yeah, but that's the thing now. Everyone knows that that's what's coming. The last girl I fought, she was like, I knew that's what you could do because the other Irish girl told me. So I was just waiting for it.
Yeah.
So it's it takes it away from you a bit, but you know what? We'll set it up and we'll carry on with them.
Yeah, brilliant. So what goes through your mind when you get into the ring?
I'm someone that's very nervous on the lead up to the fight. I'll probably go up and down. 1 minute I'm like, I'm so excited, I'm ready to go. Let me fight tomorrow. And the next day I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm done. I don't want to fight no more. But you get there, you get on the day, and then I see them weigh in, and I'll weigh in and I go, what was I panicking for? Look at her, I'm going to win easy. And then you get on the scales, I eat, and I'm ready to go. I don't feel really much nerves on the day, to be honest. I do my warm-up, and because you've refueled, you feel so strong. You're like, I've never had so good in my life, really. And then you just step out to the ring, all your crowd's cheering you on. And it's nice now because people know us more and we've been going to other gyms. You've got other gyms cheering you on as well, and it's like, oh, that's nice. Like, it gives you that extra boost, especially when it's someone from Ireland and that who haven't really got that support base there. You feel like everyone wants you to win and it pushes you more.
Yeah, brilliant.
So I get in and I'm just like, I know what I have to do and I'm going to do it. So I do.
That's cool. Who's your biggest inspiration in fighting, or do you have one?
I don't really follow big fighters as such, but I do follow a lot of just like local girls. I like to follow a lot of females as well because I'm like, you don't see many females doing it. So yeah, there is a few local girls that I follow, and like some of the Irish girls are coming through as well, and I keep track on them. But yeah, like Paul said as well, really, we just like follow each other here as well, and like that's inspiring. Like they're achieving that, so let's all go and do it together, kind of thing.
Yeah, everyone growing at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's the biggest sacrifice you've had to make?
Sacrifice wise, it's probably like your day-to-day stuff. Dieting, coming to the gym all the time. Like I work shifts, so I'll finish a night shift at 7 a.m. and we've got a training session at 10. I'm up and I'm like, I'm coming to that session, I cannot miss it. So just your day-to-day life, it does put strain on you that way. But another thing that a lot of people don't talk about that I know I struggle with as well is you strip so much weight off to get onto the scales and you look so good, you're lean. I'm exactly how I want to look. And then you eat, you feel great, and then you put all your weight back on. And no one talks about that kind of body dysmorphia after you've weighed in on the scales, basically. And I think a lot of fighters struggle with it, but it's not really spoken about.
Now I can imagine that's a big transition. What do you do to help deal with that?
I kind of just have to stay on a diet kind of thing. I'm like, I try and have little bits and bobs of like treats, but I try and stay as like good as I can, because otherwise it will kind of get me down. We do a lot of weights as well, so that's good because you can see your growth, but in a good way. You like, I feel strong now. I don't seem so small and like pale and drained.
Yeah.
So that does help, but I do think it's something that's not really spoken about that people struggle with.
Is there any advice you give to like, people just starting out how to deal with it, or?
I think as well, it's a lot of talking to people. I follow a lot of people on Instagram as well, and like TikTok, who give advice on how to like stay healthy, good meal ideas, and to keep on track that way. Because you can easily get into a bit of a rut or like eat loads and do it that way. So I think if you've got someone that you can push through with, it works. Like say me and Paul will be like, okay, let's go and have a healthy meal. Let's make protein pancakes instead of going and eat chocolate pancakes. And it helps you that way. So you get the little bit of a treat, but while still eating well. Yeah,
a bit of accountability as well. So like there can be little bit, they can pick you up when you're not doing it right, and then they can support you when
you are.
You are. Yeah, no.
It works. And then you can have the encouragement from your family and friends as well. Like my mum's always like, when I weigh in, she's like, oh, you look disgusting. Oh, you look so small, stop that. So then it does push you a bit. Then when you do put that weight on and you feel a bit down, everyone's like, you look amazing. Like, you've got your curves back. Do you know what I mean? So it does help you out a bit.
Yeah. I suppose it's just being able to get to that size and do it. That's an achievement. So it helps deal with everything, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
So what's the toughest lesson you've learned like, when fighting?
Toughest lesson. I'd say mine probably was when we went to the World Championships. That was my first big fight. I was really excited because it's under the new team. And that was my first loss, and my only loss I've had actually, to be fair, here. And I was gutted, to be fair, but it was like a lesson in itself to come back, train harder. Since obviously I've been here 2 years, I've worked loads more with like Gilmore, Callum, and they've all given us loads of different tips and made me better. And I feel like I'm now a totally different fighter to what I was then. And I could go in, and I wish I could fight her again, to be honest, because I think it'll be a totally different story.
You're coming for that.
Exactly, I would. Like from New Zealand, she can fly over. But yeah, I think the lesson is, even if you do take that loss, is to get straight back in and carry on and keep pushing, because you'll be somewhere in the end.
And what's the most valuable bit of advice you've had from like Callum or Paul? Or
they're very good at watching your opponent and telling you what you need to do for that fight. So for my last one, I watched her and she was really strong. I knew she had a big overhand right. I knew she was a strong boxer. And a lot of the Irish just walk you down. They just walk with loads of punches. So you can't really be a front foot fighter, and that's how I like to fight. So he was kind of like, use your front kicks, use your side kicks, long range, and then just follow him with them hands. And that's all that kept playing through my head. Be first, throw a front kick, throw a side kick, stop her, don't let her come in, because as soon as she steps in, that's she's going to work, and she's going to win that way. And that's what I did. If you watch the fight, I was just throwing big axe kicks, front kicks, and as I was going through the rounds, she was getting more and more tired, and she was just walking into my kicks. And then I could flow with my hands. Yeah. So it worked, exactly what it said.
So what motivates you to keep going?
It is the winning, to be fair. You win and you're like, I'm going to have a break, I'm going to stop for a bit. You win and you're like, no, let's go again. Right now, I'll go tomorrow. And then I think seeing other people as well, like other girls your weight winning as well, you then start to think, oh, I want to fight her. Yeah. I could beat her, I want to have a go, get me in it, let's do it. So that keeps me motivated in that sense. I know who I'd like to fight next, and definitely I want to get a world title. And then also it keeps you motivated thinking, well, where can I go with this now? I keep winning, where's it going to end up? I would like to go into like K1, I'd like to go pro. So there's loads of different paths I can take, and that keeps me motivated that way.
Is there anyone you want to call out? Anyone you like?
there's a few girls that know that we want the fight. Like there's a girl called Poppy from a different gym. She knows that we've been pushing for that fight, so I'd definitely fight her. But yeah, I'm happy to get in the ring and fight. I want to win, so let's get the titles going, and I'll gladly do it.
Yeah, get the shed wall filled.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get the anyway. Either like I've fluctuate from 65 to 60, so I'm happy to literally just take as many fights as I can at this point.
What do you feel best at when you're going in? Anything feels all right?
My last fight, I got on the scales bang on 62, and I literally didn't cut. I was eating all throughout the day, and I felt really strong that fight. But then 60, I was tiny, but I stood next to her, and she was so short. Well, not really so short, but she was a lot shorter than me. And then I refueled, and I got into that ring, and I felt the strongest. So I do think I'll be sticking at 60 and doing it that way. I think when I was at 65, I was too heavy. The girls were a lot bigger than me as well. So I definitely keep it at 60. I couldn't go any lighter. Just about my 60.
Yeah, you don't want to be making yourself bad.
I know, yeah.
Take a whole different start.
Yeah, you have to, like, we were sat in the sauna. I'd finished my work shift early because I was like, I'm not going to make weight otherwise. Starved myself through my shift, so I was absolutely dying. And then you get in the sauna for 2 hours, stand on the scales, and you're like, all that for 1 second on the scales, and it's done.
Yeah. And it can't make that much difference, can it? But you've just got to do it.
Exactly. It's just got to be done, and that's all you're thinking all week. Like, it'll be done on this day. We're nearly there now. Come on. As you're eating like just steak and some broccoli or whatever, but it's what it is.
It's got to be done. So, what made you get into combat sports?
To be honest, I just picked up a leaflet when I was out shopping one day and joined the club the next day. I was kind of that person that wanted to do a bit of everything. And I went, and that was it. Like, I absolutely loved it. And I actually ended up being quite good. So I was like, oh, I'll probably stick to this one. And then my coach, to be fair, she was really good. She was a really strong, good fighter, fighting at all the big gyms, fighting pro MMA, etc. So I think because I was like one of the only girls as well that was coming through, she really took a lot of time in making me good. And then obviously when I started just winning, I've been to like America to fight, I've been to Ireland, I have travelled. She was kind of like, take the next step now and like grow yourself. So then I started here, and then I knew I wanted to get on the shows and win belts and win titles. So that's what I did, started here, and then we'll see where we can go from here. Hopefully make it pro, potentially one day, so we'll see.
And what's the journey to get pro? What do you have to put into it?
I think as long as I keep winning, I can get there. I'd definitely like to do a bit of K1 as well, so I'll have to spend some time doing that because we are getting to the point where it's hard to get me matched. There's been a few shows now that I've not been able to fight on because I can't find someone.
Everyone's scared.
Well, and the kickboxing world's small as well. Like, kickboxing's not as big as it used to be. People are wanting to do K1, get on the telly and stuff like that. So I will definitely go down that route, I think, once I've got where I want to be in kickboxing.
Yeah, brilliant. So what's next for you? Is it?
Next for me is the home show in September at the Ice Ring European title. So I'm not sure who my opponent is yet. I would like to say I would like it to be Ireland again because I'd like to mix it up a bit. I want to show that I can actually fight on the front foot. I'm a very strong front foot fighter, and I feel like that's kind of been taken away from me a bit. Fighting the Irish was like just come. So it'd be nice to mix it up and show that I can like fight pressure in as well. And then I'd like to get a world title as soon as possible then from there. I've defended my other belt, so hopefully I won't have to defend the European, but I will if I have to. But I would like to just get on a world title.
Yeah, no. Look forward to seeing that then.
Yeah, I don't know when or who, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Amazing, thank you.
No problem.